Okay. I guess something to know about these little engines, the EM1 here specifically. And I've turned this, and there. I'm hoping that that's visible. The magnet for the trigger is right here, and the set screw for the ignition is top there, and the sensor is right here, and the crank is set at just ahead of top dead center. So I'm assuming that because these are manufactured on a CNC that this set screw is always in relation to that magnet. So if you have one and you're having an issue with timing, you could check that set screw is up. And if this magnet is over on the side here, that's probably pretty close to the correct timing. If you get one of these, also remember you will need to check all the set screws, especially after the first time you run it, because they're so tiny that without Loctite they're just going to work loose. There's like literally nothing anybody can do about that. So make sure that you check all your flywheels to make sure that they're, and the starter cup here, make sure it's all in place. And then I had to Loctite the pin at the small end of the crankshaft here, or at the small end of the connecting rod here. So I haven't had any issues with the big end, but the small end I had to Loctite the pins in place on the small end. There haven't been any issues with the pins for this rocker arm here. So I'm pretty excited about that. Make sure this is still kind of in frame. And then the other thing I did was put a twist in the belt here so that when the engine turns, the fans are blowing onto the cylinder for cooling. That is all of the stuff that I've done with this engine to get it to run real nice like that. And then a final note, the needle here, it's really fine adjustment, but I always end up between, like right near a quarter turn, and you definitely want to put a little mark on that to help you with it. I haven't gotten the Dremel out and put a mark on it yet. I just have the spot from a Black Magic marker, but definitely mark that so you can keep an eye on it. And it is really just so sensitive that I barely touch it to get the adjustment right. But I'm really happy that I got the EM1 going, and it's a fantastic little engine. None of the issues I had with it, I think, are a result of any bad manufacturing, because they're all things that are just a fact of life with tiny parts and tiny engines like this. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope that if you get one, you can learn from this and do the little maintenance that I have talked about here so that you can have a good time with yours.